Well, there you have it. The untold stories of hip-hop are set to come alive with the release of a new documentary, Maftown Heights Untold Stories. This is an extension of one of Africa's largest hip-hop festivals, known for its vibrant performances, diverse lineup, and commitment to showcasing emerging talent. So the compelling four-part series promises to delve into the rich history, cultural significance, and the behind-the-scenes moments of the long-running festival. Both founders, Refiloe Ramogase as well as Khuli Chana, are in studio this morning to chat to us a little bit more about the documentary and all the feats that come with it. Good morning to the both of you. Thanks for joining us at this hour.
Good morning.
Thank you.
What an illustrious journey it has been for you. We were reminiscing about blasts from the past in terms of the journey, and now you've got this combination of the documentary, Maftown Heights Untold Stories. Tell us about how you're feeling at this point with this latest offering.
Wow. Just full circle.
Yes, yes.
We premiered the first episode of a four-part docu,
Yes.
Labor of Love, started in 2020, deep into, the COVID lockdown. And, little did we know some of the guys on that documentary, would not make it.
Yes.
And just looking back at where I started, so you get to see a young Khuli there, still scrawny, big dreams, wild imagination. I was just like, the guts, the vigor, the relentlessness we had as young Motswako artists is just mind blowing. And I'm so glad we've told the story, because I know the many artists it's going to inspire.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better. Refiloe, we're into you now because I'm looking back to the footage. We've seen the trailer that also been played. What's running through your mind, reminiscing back?
Phew. I think it's emotional. I think when you, I think at the screening, just to realize that, like Khuli said, it's like when the festival started. It was an idea. We both decided we're doing it. And what I love about us is that we don't wait for funding or getting this. And I think that's a really big learning for a lot of artists as well, is that when we decide on something, we move heaven and earth to make it happen. And it's exactly what we did with this documentary, with no funding whatsoever. This was us, just the two of us, literally funding this thing. And we've been able to tell a story that I think is important for people to hear.
The festival itself is going to Africa's hip-hop, like an excellence of sorts for African hip-hop. And there's some behind-the-scenes footage that we have never seen. I mean, talk to us about what was incorporated in the documentary, for those who haven't seen part one yet.
Part one gives you a story about the origins of Motswako and Morafe, which is I'm 1/3 of the legendary Morafe. We are pioneers of the Motswako movement. And then it delves into how we created Maftown Heights. Just the beginning,
Correct. So episode 1 very much is that origin story around Motswako. And then from there, when we get into episode 2 in particular, that's where we then really start to delve into the beginnings of the festival, highlights of the festival. Episode 3, then we go into the growing pains of the festival itself. And then episode 4 is an interesting one where we go, it's titled From Motswako to Nutswako, where we're then looking at the road ahead.
Because the festival itself, it really just became part of South Africa's hip-hop culture. Just also given who's come through the doors. And as you mentioned, some haven't made it this far. So talk to us about that. Are there any plans to also bring it back?
We need a reunion.
I agree.
I know he's holding back on the announcement. I might pull the trigger. I'm trigger happy. This event was created to celebrate my hometown, our culture, but most importantly, it was to create this bridge between Maftown, KZN, Johannesburg, and this is at a time when I had a smash hit with AKA, Double HP had a smash hit with Tear Gas, and I thought, guys, we need to get out of the bubble and start collaborating more, and out of that we saw more collaborations, but most importantly, it was about shining a light on the new, right? We broke artists with the New Kids on the Block segment, and then we brought out some surprise acts, spotlight on the living icons.
Classic Motswako, a mixture of everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Play on that words. I wonder, even looking at, you know, the evolution of the festival, and what would you say has been a standout moment for each of you?
Phew, too many to mention.
Shame, that's not fair. It's like asking a parent to choose their favorite child. But what really comes out for you?
I'll read off a couple. You know, we've been able to do some really incredible surprise moments.
Yes.
I think the All Eyes on Me performance with Keenan, JR, The Les, and Burna Boy in 2014
we've heard
was
Burna
definitely
Boy
a
on that
highlight.
stage, yeah.
The Ice Prince moment, I was surprised at how many people knew Oleku in 2013.
Yeah.
I would definitely say the Mayo 2016 New Kids on the Block performance. Yeah.
And the homecoming. So when we took,
2017.
when we took
going home.
Maftown Heights to Mahikeng for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a moment. That was the last time WHP was on that stage.
Yeah.
And it's a night we were also mourning DJ
Zondi, who had passed the week before.
And yeah, we've had some amazing moments.
And Jabba closing 2012 was also a favorite as well. Yeah.
I'm just wondering what's happening in the edit suite when you're having to put all of this together. Is it fair to have to reduce it to all of this?
I had to learn to stay out of it.
Yeah.
Because it's just too personal for me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But yeah, there's a lot. And I think that what we've also resigned ourselves to is that this is the beginning of a storytelling universe. I think that there still needs to be a Murafe documentary. I still think there needs to be a Khuli Chana documentary.
There should be a Stone.
I think, there has to be a Stone documentary. There needs to be a Jabba documentary. There needs to be a Maclera Doughboy documentary. So it's really just the beginnings of a journey where we are just going to make sure that we are historians and we're preservers of, I think, a moment in time and history. And we really want to make sure that South Africa never forgets this, because this was a really special time.
I actually wanted to speak to the role of Motswako in South Africa's heritage and music scene, even in hip-hop at large, the contribution we've made to the global stage.
Yeah.
What would you say comes to mind for you on that front? That sounds like a thesis question.
But you know, what's Jabba said was the line, making Setswana fashionable.
Yes.
We came up at a time when Setswana wasn't cool, you know, because
wasn't as exposed.
Listen, you know,
For sure.
maybe not exposed,
Correct.
because Zulu, Xhosa dominated, and it took Stone of Bongo Muffin, it took Buffy Tlile, and then Jabba came onto the scene and then flooded the streets, right?
100%. And you know, people like yourself, like Jabba, I remember, like when you talk about the international front,
Yes.
I remember him on in 2008 with the feature with Nas, Give You Your Flowers. You did a lot of stuff in Africa. Ice Prince and a number of other people. Casper took it to a new level. Maclera right now is very much somebody who a lot of people are talking about all around the world. So what you're beginning to see is that through people having the fortitude to say we're gonna do it in our own language, we made it okay to be South African, and we made it okay to be international South African. And there's an entire nation, there's an entire collective of wpeople who've made that possible.
Well, the story's not complete without our version. So thank you for being part of that, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
We'll leave the
100%.
conversation, drops the mic, I think. We spoke to Khuli Chana, Refiloe Ramogase, producing a new documentary. It's called Maftown Heights Untold Stories.